Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, can you all praise on the go to Yahweh Shah. And once again, the one is to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Forgive me a little phlegm, just had some food and whatever. Wasn't really the best, but scraped by, but whatever I could get my hands on. Just not the best quality. So yeah, I don't want to talk about food right now. I'm going to talk about this, so we stay focused. And once again, I'm on the website here, BibleKnowledge.com, and last couple videos I've been making, I've been kind of like going through this whole site, seeing what's right, what's wrong. And a lot of this is just really, they say a lot of words, but really all this stuff, is pretty much said in the scriptures. You really don't need to write a whole essay about a lot of this stuff, but the fact of the matter is, the point was not just to just read it empty, like just empty reading this stuff, because I'd have a fucking headache if I was just empty reading it. It's really just to analyze it and get on some game here about how these people think, how they move, so that I have a better idea of what they're all about. Which, I already have a pretty good idea, but just want to go look at more of this stuff in their own eyes, because I haven't done videos like this in a while. I used to go on their websites and look at it was called questions for Christians, and I would look at them and I would see if their answers were correct or wrong. So yeah. So we are saved by grace through faith, not by works. Now they're actually correct to believe in that. Alright. Second most important tenet of the Christian faith, it's exactly how we receive the free gift of eternal salvation from Jesus, which goes back to Jesus, which really goes back to Yahushua, which means he delivers. He is the deliverer. He, Yahushua, deliverer. And once again, the Bible is very clear on this issue. The Bible tells us that the gift of eternal salvation with God the Father can only be received by grace through faith in Yahushua, right? Not Christ, we have Mashiach in the Pale Hebrew, which means the anointed one. Right, really, Christians should be the Mashiachim, the anointed ones. To be anointed is to be chosen, picked, or the chosen ones. Think like Star Wars. You have chosen ones. You have people that are force sensitive. You got people that are truth sensitive. I just made that up. People who are tuned to the truth, that are from that bloodline, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Right? That's what it. That's what it is. It's just what it is. Right? Not about any type of works that we could do, no matter how holy and how pure those works may be. Right? You can only, get your salvation, by grace, through faith. That's it. Right? The Bible tells us that every single one of us has sinned and has fallen short of the glory of the Most High, and there is no one who is now truly righteous before the Father. Focusing on Israelites, right? As a result, no one can earn their way into heaven, no matter how many good works they may try and do for the Lord, no matter how holy and pleasing they may try to make themselves in His sight. That's right, because if you just do works and you don't have faith, then it's just empty. But to speak on this too, your faith is backed up by your works, like it says in the scriptures. And what am I thinking of? Is that not true for everything? You say, say you have an idea or something you want to do, right? Like, say I want to learn programming. I say, yeah, I'm going to become, a good programmer, make some money, right? make a little extra cash, do it as like a side gig, right? Me saying that, my words are going to be backed up by my works, right? You're going on a website, you learn how to code, you're going to like a code playground, you're playing around with code, you're learning how to run shit, how to debug, you're learning the basics, about, everything and whatever. What's a variable, what's a method, whatever. You're learning how to solve problems, you're looking at videos, you're doing tutorials, right? If you just say it, that just doesn't mean anything, right? And that's what people say, you're all bark and don't bite. Like people that try to act tough, they bark, 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 but they don't have any bite because they don't do shit, You got some of these dudes in the hood that be like that, talk all kinds of shit, but they're not fucking tough. Even the guys that do crime, they're not tough, because when they go to jail and they get their sentence and it's 40, 50 years, the motherfuckers be crying, And people that have been in prison, jail, whatever, they'll tell you, guys that be in there for like, they get their sentencing and be in that shit for mad long, they be crying and shit, because they're never gonna see their mom or their girlfriend or none of that shit. The girlfriend's gonna get popped by some fucking other dude, and that's it for them. So much for them being tough. Right? To the gift of eternal salvation, a direct free gift being given to all of us. Nope, to all Israelites. Alright. By the Lord, is simply received by grace through our personal faith in Yahushua. Here are 18 powerful verses, perfectly spelling out all this for us, right? Because the real name is just Yahushua. It's not Jesus, but I'm gonna let's see. I'll find something just to prove that, Apostle Paul, because a lot of these are from Apostle Paul, he was going to Israelites, but let's just get something real quick. Alright, I'm not gonna go into the whole history here, but if I remember correctly, Lodge. Yeah, this is after Acts, the 15th chapter, of course, but this is Apostle Paul basically coming down to Jerusalem again, because I believe Apostle Paul went to Jerusalem about five times. There's a whole timeline of events and stuff that you can read about. Then I could tell you, okay, this is the first time you went, this is the second time, but I believe one time he came by to hand in some money, and I think he came again. That was the reason why he came down in the 15th chapter. Can't remember why he came in the 21st chapter. Maybe it was to hand in some more money again, because, Apostle Paul was big on charity. He collected money from the other churches that he was, traveling through and, helping and all that. I don't think he set up all those different churches, but some churches were like set up by like other people, but he went around them and, helped them out and, was among them and things like that, so on and so forth. What do I want? I'll start here, Acts 21 and 19. And when he had saluted them, he declared particularly what things Most High wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry, right? He was talking to James. Not, make sure which James this is, because one James got murdered already. Let me see here. Was it James who got murdered? No, I'm thinking about John. I gotta see which James this is. Yeah, it was James. Yeah, James, the brother of John. Yeah, James, the sons of Zebedee. I think it's that one. Nope, yep, it is that one. Ah, man, how am I forgetting that? Oh, fuck. I'm being exposed right now. Had the apostle been tried, but I'm just looking at the commentary. I gotta go back into that. Because it's two James. James the son of James the son of Zebedee, or James the elder, with his brother John, right? Apostle John. Right. Yeah, now it's all clicking. That didn't fucking happen. But yeah, it's important of going into things, right? You know. Now we need to see which one is being talked about here. I believe this one is James, the brother of let me see here. James the Less. Yeah. I believe this James is the brother of Yahushua. At least that's what they say. Yeah, James is the brother of Yahushua. Alright, that was I just had to go through that again because it's been a while since I read Matthew, but sometimes we struggle a little bit, but as soon as I keep reading, then I'm like, oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about now. As soon as I just look at it, just gotta give me a second to look at it, and we're here. So this is James, the brother of Yahushua, and and when he saluted them, he declared, particularly with things Messiah wrought among the Gentiles by his ministry, and Gentiles, ethnos, Gentile Christians, but it doesn't really mean that. Like other nations just means Israelites tribe. Okay, this is especially, but in this context does not mean non-Jewish. All right, Gentile, heathen nation people, but once again, in the context of this one, it means Israelites who were previously, in a Gentile state of mind. Whereas like foreigners, because was it Hosea? The first chapter talks about the Lord turned his back on our people, and there was different captivities. People were dragged off. We know that Northern Kingdom eventually came over to America, but you have some that were still stuck and stayed in Assyria, and they're still there to this day. You have the Greeks. They pulled away certain Israelites and pulled them into captivity. The scriptures don't say, at least from what I've read so far, the Maccabees, it doesn't say that those people ever somehow came back. I mean, of course they came back eventually, but you don't really see anything about Judas going to Greece and finding them and bringing them all back. Maybe some of them came back. I mean, you got a reason that those of them that were scattered over there, they had to found their way back. Maybe they bought out their own slavery. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna overthink it, but that those that were scattered over there, they came back into the truth and stuff like that. Do Apostle Paul and things like that. But those that were scattered off, just to speak on that, and maybe in those captivities, they turn to the Greek stuff, then they start to look at them as heathen, as we get the word ethnos and Gentile and stuff like that. They treated them like others. I believe it's here in Acts 21st chapter. That's why they didn't like him. They wanted to kill him because of Trophimus. They thought that he brought Trophimus into the temple when he was going to shorten his head and end his Nazarene vow, Nazarite vow. See, I'm doing this off the cuff, so you gotta bear with me when I gotta remember things and get the old skull, ticking. So right, verse 20, when he heard it, they glorified the Lord and sent him, Lord Yahweh. Go see us, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe, and they're all zealous of the law, right, in Jerusalem. Right, and these are that believe in Yahushua, right? But they were zealous for the law because they're in Jerusalem. right? Circumcised on the 8th day, whole ordeal, right? And therefore, thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles, all right? Among the Gentiles, among these other nations. He goes to say, among his life foreigners, because his life foreigners are just acting like the other nations, right? The ones that aren't in the right mind, right? To forsake Moses, saying that they ought not to circumcise the children, neither to walk out of the custom. So that's who Apostle Paul was, directing all those letters to, right? Jews, which are among the Gentiles, right? Among other nations, as well as Israelites in the Gentile state of mind. All right, Timothy had a Greek father, all right? A father that was into the Greek stuff, but he was an Israelite, all right? We don't know how we got over there or when. His family could have, turncoated when with the Hellenist times. Times when we were being afflicted by Antiochus, right? But I don't really know. I don't really think it's even said in the scriptures, but yeah. So yeah, yeah, a little mistake here and there, but what matters at the end of the day is that, I don't want to say it's a mistake. I just had to remind myself, is that really that bad, So yeah, everything Apostle Paul was mentioning and saying these things to, it's about Jews, right? It's to Israelites who are among these heathen, among these other nations. You can also say among Israelite foreigners, because, you be among each other, We're still like that to this day, Jake, they be among the Jake, It's just, it's just the way it is, man, Like, you could be in a room, a bunch of different people, right? You could be like the only Jake in a room, but then if another Jake come in a room, they're more than likely going to sit next to you, because you're the same seed line, and they identify with you, so they're gonna sit next to you, But I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, everything is for directed to Israelites, right? And I spoke on that in like the last two parts. I went to like a few scriptures. Deliverance is only coming first and foremost to the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. You 2/3 of the nations of Israel, and you wicked Israelites all over the world, you'll come back on the second round trip, but you're going to have to die on this side, death by pain. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and not of yourselves, is the gift of the Most High, not of works, lest anyone should boast. Right, and that's the gift, right, of the Most High. That's his gift to us, right, to Israel, right. As I said before, starting first and foremost with the elect. That's a gift given to us, right? Grace, you have been saved through faith, right? That's our gift, Now, it's not really said here, and I'm not gonna overdo the point here, because I'm already pushing 16 minutes because, I have to kind of stop and, look at things again. But now I know it again, and now, I don't fuck up and, stuff like that. But as long as I got it right at the end of the day, if you like, what am I thinking of again? Because, sometimes you don't read something in a few months because you're, it's just you. You don't really have the ability to, really speak to a whole lot of people and speak to others about like scriptures and stuff. So I only get it from like videos, and not every video is gonna mention everything. So I do the best I can. This is a good one. Acts 6:2. God forbid. Actually, hold on. Romans 6:1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. How should we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? And that's self-explanatory. Should we just exist in sin, just abuse the grace? No, right? Because how shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? Because it poses a contradiction if you're doing that. If you're supposed to be dead to sin, you're supposed to put on the new man. Well, why do you live any longer therein? You're supposed to try your hardest to put off that stuff. Whatever your particular battle, your particular cross is, you're supposed to, fight back. You're not supposed to just, willingly, just willfully sin and stuff, be, wicked. And there's certain things that you shouldn't be caught up in. Like adultery and stuff. Like, that stuff is not to be prideful, but that stuff is easy. Easy to as you say, dodge. Because it's just a person. You can just walk away or just say no, or just cut all contact. Shit, if that was at a job, I'd go so far as to quit that job. I'd go so far as to say that, or at least think about quitting that job. I make a lot of passes for certain things, but certain stuff like that, I can't make no passes for that. But it's all up to you. You do, what Spirit tells you to do. Maybe for you may have to leave that job. I deal with that stuff. I just separate myself. I just get away from the person because, how these, especially, these other nations are when they see a Jeek that's in some sort of decent order, they try to cooperate, but I don't want people to cooperate that already have men, right. Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law, but faith in Yahshua Mashiach, for by the works of the law, no flesh shall be justified. Exactly. And by the works of the law, no flesh shall be justified, because we all fall short. This is going to be a last thing, but I'm going to go get a commentary on that, because that's what Spirit's telling me to go to. Let's do it. Go look at a commentary. Maybe we'll get some different translations, but we're going to close out in a few minutes. NLT, we know that person is made right with the Most High by faith in Yahshua Mashiach, not by obeying the law. And we have believed in Yahshua Mashiach so that we might be made right with the Most High, because our faith in Yahshua Mashiach, not because we've obeyed the law, for no one will be right with the Most High by obeying the law. Alright? It's by faith. Okay? Faith and grace. But faith without works is dead. So this is Elikat. By the works, the law shall no flesh be justified is a quotation by which no exact equivalent is able to be found in the Old Testament. The nearest is to be Psalm 143:2. In thy sight shall no man living be justified. This is written under the disposition of the law naturally applied to that dispensation, so that the apostle was justified in adding by the works of the law. The same quotation, the same words is made in Romans 3:20. The inability of the law to justify comes in two ways. The only way in which the law could justify was through a complete obedience to its provisions, but it was impossible to render a complete obedience to it, and to defend at one point was to be guilty of all. It says that in the scriptures too. If you break one law, you're guilty of breaking all. So practically, as a matter of fact, no one was justified by it, right? Because in these fleshly bodies, you can't do it. In order to help men to justify themselves, and you could think about that. Why do we have a Day of Atonement if full salvation was only through the law? You got to think about that, right? Why do we have a Day of Atonement, right? Because he knew that would go off would make offenses. In the scriptures, there's certain things with offense. You don't mean to make an offense, and things like that. Then you would have to, do a whole, I don't want to say ritual, but a whole observance at the temple about it. But yeah, that's pretty much proves it. Actually, no one. Nor did it help men to justify themselves. It was something dead and lifeless, a mere written letter, but professing none of those means of grace which are offered by Christianity, Christ himself, to faith in them, is the great means. Yeah, because, having faith in Yahushua Mashiach supersedes the law. But the law is good. The scripture says, the scripture call it the law, the schoolmaster. It's supposed to bring you to the truth, but maybe I might get that, and then I'll close off. I don't want to, belabor the point, and we got like 12 stuff to speak on, 12 different points to speak on, so, I don't want to linger on too long, but, yeah, I'm happy either way, because, this is gonna, help me get right. Galatians 3:24. Wherefore, law of the schoolmaster bring us unto Christ, that we might be justified by faith. Rather that faith is come, we are no longer under schoolmaster. For ye are all children of God by faith. Yahushua Mashiach. That's right. So it's meant to just bring you into the faith. Alright. And if you have the faith, keeping the law is going to be something that you're going to want to do. It's natural. Like vices, the nature of a thing. Like you see physics study of natural environment. Vices is just the natural order of things. So that the vices, the natural order of having faith, is going to make you want to keep the law. Ignore that. That's my little air freshener thing. I like to have the room smelling kind of right, and I can't light up a candle, so I like to have that. Schoolmaster's guardian. There's a whole thing about the schoolmaster. Yeah. We'll go into this, and that's it. So Ellicott's commentary again. The law was a schoolmaster. Not quite a satisfactory translation. Yet it's difficult to suggest a better. The Greek word is that derived from the English pedagogue. Originally it meant a slave who was placed in charge of a child whose duty was to conduct it to school. The idea is that of a moral rather than of intellectual discipline. The care of the pedagogue ceased where that of the schoolmaster began, but it was he who had more especially to form the character of the child. Horace notes as a particular advantage that his own father himself had taken to place a pedagogue to him. Alright. Instructor of the childhood. That's what it says in Benson. I'm not reading all that. So to bring us unto Christ, right? The words to bring us, it will be seen as applied. It may retain, for the metaphor is not pressed to the extent of supposing that Christ represents a schoolmaster, proper to whom the child is led by the pedagogue, slave. The work of Christ as a teacher is not what the apostle has in mind. It's rather a higher kind of guardianship, which is to succeed at the law, and to which the law hands over to the pupil. Once within the guardianship of Christ, so be made a member of the Messianic kingdom. The Christian is justified by faith. He receives an amnesty for his past sins and is accounted righteous before the Most High. Yeah, he's right about that. That's actually pretty good. Of course, it's only to so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans and Israelite foreigners, but it's good. Yeah, you get I'll give you 90, 95. I would give you the extra 5%, but you're not of my people, so I got a docu-point somewhere. Let's see. I actually want to go ahead and get it. Okay. So pretty much they're saying that I think I understand what they're saying. The law is basically a schoolmaster. Brings you into the let's see here. Was it there? Nope. A little bit further down. Yeah, I'm remembering now. Yeah, now I'm remembering. No, it's not even Romans. I'm not even in the right book. Making some mistakes here. But oh well, I'm not gonna be perfect on this side. So, yeah, so law was a schoolmaster. So that's what that means. So pretty much this means, right, a tutor, guardian, and guide of the boys among the Greeks and the Romans, and names applied to trustworthy slaves, right? And then after that, the pedagogue, I think they said the point was the pedagogue originally meant the slave, right, to the child, and teach them, and then bring them in and like give them the morals, right, which that's what law does. And then they make the argument that afterwards that Christ represents the schoolmaster, which would really just be, the truth and all that, and Yahushua like dealing with you, the word, and etc., etc. In the spirit of the scriptures, the Holy Spirit dealing with you, and connecting with your spirit. And you guys know what I'm saying. But to bring us, the words in the Greek doesn't exactly mean anything to do with schoolmaster, but it just means, well, if you actually go in there, schoolmaster really shouldn't be there. Should be our pedagogue, or what is it? The correct one would be to say it was our pedagogos, right? And then, bring us into Christ. And there really should be something that would say that Christ will be the schoolmaster, because that's what comes out of the pedagogue, or the pedagogos, I just want to go through that, double check, because it kind of like confused me at first when I saw that. I had to remind myself. And also, the way they wrote it was a little confusing. But now we got the understanding. So yeah, that's it for now. Shalom.